Hello, and welcome to my video on intermittent fasting. Okay, if you've seen any of my earlier videos from a couple years ago, I actually did keto. And keto results are great. They work combined with exercise, it's awesome. However, for some of us, keto is kind of hard to sustain. You get a craving for something that does have carbs, you start to slip, and oftentimes what happens is when you start to slip, they'll say, oh, a little bit's not going to hurt here, it's not a big issue, then a little bit comes a lot, and then you get this big mountain effect, and then a lot of times people give up. In my case, actually, I'm an airline pilot, so I travel a lot, and I can do keto at home, no problem. But on the road, it's already difficult. And now, in the era of COVID, it's very hard because a lot of places are closed. It's hard to find food that may be low carb, meet keto needs when being on the road half the month. So keto's not a good option for me. So like many of us, coming into the year of COVID, which I can't wait for this year to be over, like most of us, gyms were closed, restaurants were closed, there were restrictions, and just like with college, the freshman 15, I guess COVID-19 actually means something else other than the virus itself. Because of the lack of activity, a lot of us put on some weight. Okay, so let's get that out the way. Long story short, I hadn't been doing keto for a while. My workouts were disrupted, especially at the beginning of the year with everything going on with COVID and shutdowns at the gym. So that and kind of just resting on my own laurels, I gained weight back. I freely admit I gained weight and it's my fault. So in August, I decided at the end of August, you know what, I can't do this because if I let this go, it's going to get worse and worse over time. I need to get it taken care of. But the exercise was only one part of it. I had to figure out a good way to eat on the road. So, a friend of mine, actually 37 years old, female, lost over 50 pounds in about a 6-month period. And she had struggled with weight most of her adult life. And what she did was she started doing intermittent fasting and just walking. So I will tell you, I was skeptical of intermittent fasting. I felt that it was a starvation type diet. I felt that it can't be sustainable. I was all negative towards it. End of August, I decided, you know what? Let's give it an honest try for the next couple of weeks and see how it feels. Maybe it could work for us. So with that being said, intermittent fasting, there's different ways to do fasting. At the end of this video, there'll be a link to a website that actually describes a different type of fasting. One is every other day. Monday, you eat normally. Tuesday, you fast for 24 hours or eat like 500 calories. I thought, yeah, that's not quite probably something that would work good with me. Another one is what they call a 5 and 2. 5 days of the week, you eat normally, and then for 2 straight days, or 48 hours basically, you fast. Whether it's like you totally fast where you're just drinking liquid for the next 48 hours, or like 500 calories or so a day. Again, I thought about that like, not quite hitting with me. And then there's the other type, which for me works great. There's the intermittent fasting on a daily basis. The most popular one is a 16 and 8, meaning 16 hours you fast. 8 hours you have an eating window there. During your fast period, you basically are consuming liquids without calories. So you can have coffee black, unsweet tea, water, but you're not supposed to consume any calories. Now, as far as diet sodas are concerned, just on a side note, I personally have restricted my consumption of diet sodas. There have been a lot of studies that you can pull up online from different universities, med centers, where there seems to be a link with diet sodas and actually cause you to gain weight because it tricks your body into not being able to recognize actual sugar when you have it. And from personal experience, I've actually had a friend that I flew with who used to drink a pack of diet sodas a day when he flew, like 8 or 9 of these things. And it was like he would do it daily, thinking that he's not adding to his caloric intake and he should lose weight, and he was actually gaining it. And this guy was about 50 years old, and he cut out diet sodas, and he dropped like 50 pounds in a 6-month period. And the only major change he did was he stopped drinking diet sodas. So if there's a link, I mean, that's a pretty positive link right there. But that's just a little side note. So watch the diet sodas, and I'll talk about sweeteners a little later. So you have a 16-hour fast, 8-hour eating window. But you can do others. Like I started off doing a 16 and 8, and then I moved to a 20 and 4 in a few days because I felt like, oh, I can handle this. Let's give this a try, and it works. So with that being said, I have found something that I can use not only at home, but also when I'm on the road. And I can be flexible with it. If my schedule kind of won't work with the 20 and 4, I can move to a 16 and 8 and still get the benefits of intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting, the idea is that by fasting certain periods of time and limiting your eating window, you are going to reduce the amount of total calories you're taking in daily, which is the reason a lot of us have gained weight. It's pretty obvious. But in doing that, we have to need to know how many calories we're supposed to take in the first place. Now, of course, a lot of you probably gone online, looked at the BMR calculators to figure out what is your metabolic rate based on your activity level to figure out how many calories you need daily to maintain your weight. So let me just make it very simple for you. Regardless if you're a man or a woman, take your weight, multiply it times 10. That number you get is going to be in the ballpark of how many calories you need to maintain your current weight with a sedentary lifestyle, meaning you don't do any activity. So, example, a 250-pound man or woman, multiply times 10, 2,500 calories should maintain your weight. So, what I did was I took that number and I divided it by 3. Okay, why did I divide it by 3? Because I wanted to reduce the amount of calories consciously, make sure I'm meeting what I need to do by at least 1/3. So 2,500 divided by 3 is roughly 833, basically. So take that number and double it. You come up with 1,666 calories. That is the maximum that 250-pound person should consume while doing this intermittent fasting. Why? Because one, they're reducing their amount of total calories daily. That's the first thing. In doing that, you're going to lose weight even if you don't exercise. The math is the simple math of reducing your calories. 833 calories times 7 is going to put you over 5,800 calories. With that being said, that works out to about 1.65 pounds a week of fat potential burning. Now, yes, you may, if you're not working out, you'll probably lose some muscle in the process, but you'll end up losing a lot more fat. The other thing that, if you look at some of the research about fasting, for those who've done keto, fasting can put you into ketosis. So your body will start burning fat versus glucose because of the extended periods of not eating. Which, when I found that out, I was like, wow, that's the easier way to get into keto. Now, right now, in about 3 days, 2 days, I'll be at 6 weeks since I've started this. When I started this, I started it on a Friday. I weighed myself on a Sunday. I should have weighed myself on that Friday because based on my results that I saw going forward, I was probably 2 or 3 pounds heavier 2 days earlier because this really did cause me to lose some weight in a good clip and even over a period of time. So today is just short of the 6-week mark. So I'm at 40 days since I started this. And I weighed myself 38 days ago. 38 days ago, I was at 265 and some change. Today, I'm at 246. So I'm basically right at 20, coming up on 20 pounds less in under 6 weeks. This is no fluff. This is no BS. I'll show you the pictures of the weight when I first weighed in and then when I weighed today. I'll show you some before pictures when I weighed in first, and I'll show you some nice pictures that I looked at and I was like shocked. I mean, people around me have noticed that the weight's come off. But I didn't expect to see basically be right at 20 pounds less in 6 weeks' time. And what I have done with this is I do exercise. And it's nothing crazy. Like I'll do cardio on one day and then I'll lift weights the next. And I don't spend more than an hour at the gym when I'm doing cardio. When I'm lifting, I don't even spend 30 minutes there. I get in, get my workout in, and get out. So I'm not working out like 3-4 hours a day like some of these people. This works. Now, there's a lot of other things that go into this. You know, calories is one thing, but also food quality. Another thing, I'm not doing low carb or keto with this. I'm eating what I want. I'll show you some pictures of some of the stuff I've eaten in the last few weeks, and most people who've ever tried to do any type of dieting would look at this like, how are you losing weight with this? I ate cheesesteak last night. I had gyros tonight. I made cheesesteaks a couple of weeks ago. Had pizza. Actually made pizza with my son Friday. So I'm not necessarily restricting my carbs to a low carb diet. I am watching them. Like I try to keep my carbs at 100 net grams or less at a maximum. Now, most of the time I don't even hit the 100, honestly, if you look at what I eat. As far as meals, I'll tell you, if you're busy, you do a lot of where you can't really cook too often, or you find yourself pressed for time, okay, if you gotta eat out, eat smart. Like, I know this isn't a plug for a sandwich shop, but you know, the ones that you can go get salads at, go there, get a salad, maybe get a 6-inch with chicken or a steak and cheese, or something of that nature. When you look at what the calories are on it, and you add both of them up, it's barely 1,100 calories for a whole meal plus the salad. And that's what I actually did for about the first week. It was convenient leaving my gym. I got a sandwich shop right there, go grab a salad, go and a 6-inch sub with a meal, come back home, and I'd eat one after working out and the other a couple hours later. That would be my meal for the day. I started looking at like, oh, let's do some more cooking. Because the thing is, if you eat out, you don't know the sodium counts a lot of times in this stuff, cholesterol, all of this. But when you're cooking at home and you go buy food from the grocery store, you read the nutrition labels. And just an FYI, I could make a burger and sit 2 different burgers right in front of you. One will have more calories, more cholesterol and everything than the other burger, but they'll look the same. Why? It's the meat. If I go to the deli section and I get ground beef, guess what? Has hardly any cholesterol, saturated, almost no saturated fat, virtually no sodium, because it's fresh cut. But then if I go to the frozen food section and I get the box of hamburger patties, if you look at the nutrition on there, they're heavily salted for preservation, so you have a lot of sodium, you'll have higher saturated fats, and so on. So if you can cook at home, do it. And it becomes fun. I'll do another video, show some different recipes I've done that are great, filling, and do the job. But at the end of the day, intermittent fasting does work. It is sustainable. Anyone who's done keto will love this. You don't have any keto flu with this. You know, the first 4 or 5 days of keto, you'll get this headache, and you'll just feel bad all day because your body is shifting between glucose and burning fat for energy, and it's like driving a manual shift car on a highway and trying to shift into reverse. Your body throws into just total chaos that day, and it sucks. Coming up on 6 weeks of IF, not once did I have anything like a crash like that. And as far as my calorie intake, I generally stay above 1,000. No more than, for me, no more than 1,650, roughly 1,700. But I don't even hit that normally. I usually stay even under 1,500, just in closing. IF does work. I'll post more videos to discuss different aspects of it. But if you've been stuck on weight loss before, think about giving this a try. Okay? As with always, consult your doctor if you have any medical issues or medical concerns that you want to make sure you're okay to do this before starting. All right. Have a nice day and stay safe.